right, we're just waiting for the couple minutes here, and then we're all good. All right, what's going on, everybody? It's your good old boy JR coming to you live from fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. As always, I got my brother here, Brandon from Houston, Texas. What's going on today, Brandon?
Doing good, man. Trying to fix this goddamn phone. Should have fixed it before I started, but yeah.
Well, you do
Something.
that while I lead us in here today. Sorry, let me move this angel stuff out of the Instagram live one. Nobody wants to see that. Anyway, today it's all about
You guys
the
just won. You should be proud. You guys just won. Be
Yeah, they
proud.
beat the New Orleans. Congrats. Good job. Good job, guys. Yeah, good job. Anyway, today it's all about the Raiders and the Cardinals today. So, as you all know, the Raiders do not have the pick anymore. It now belongs to the Green Bay Packers. I will tell you exactly how that happened. All right, I will tell
I
you.
know you would. I know.
I am going to tell you exactly
Oh
why
my
the
God, he's been
Packers
so
are
happy
picking
to do
here
this.
instead of us.
He's been so happy
And then-
to do this today.
Oh man, I'm gonna tell everybody how the Packers are making our selection today. But we also have the Cardinals on deck, so it's gonna be a little fun. And again, the Deebo Samuel thing is heating up, so this could be like a any minute type of thing. Like we could be doing the show, and Deebo Samuel could be on another team, but we'll get into that later. But today it's all about the Raiders and Cardinals.
Wait, so you're telling
Two
me?
teams.
Wait. So you're telling me we could pick for the Green Bay Packers and me giving that pick to the 49ers?
It could happen. It could happen. Just this is right now, so we will keep you guys updated. This is just right now. So, Brandon, without further ado, you ready to get this thing started?
Let's go.
Okay, so today, first up on the deck, we got my hometown, Las Vegas Raiders. They're they were on the clock, and we'll explain that later. But if I were to tell you, Brandon, if I were to tell you whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, would you believe me now?
After the season y'all had, no.
All right. Well, if you thought the shows and the lights and the glamours of the strip were the only thing that was going on this football season, man, we dead wrong to figure out what kind of season the Raiders were going to have. They were the 18th best offense, 26th best defense. And that wasn't even the worst part of their freaking season, man. That was not even the worst part of their season, man. So, we got to go back to their draft class, which, by the way, looking back on it now, not bad. They found some foundational pieces to this team. For example, round 1, pick 17, Alex Leatherwood, the offensive tackle out of Alabama. He is now the starting right guard for the Las Vegas Raiders. And you know what? As any offensive lineman, you're going to have your ups, you're going to have your downs. There's very so few that can come into the league like a Penny Sewell and a Rashawn Slater that are ready just to tear up the world. This guy's going to be a project. This guy's going to take a minute. But I will say this. His best football was in December. That was like his best football was at the end of the year. So we'll see what the new coaching staff can do with him. And I think he's a staple at right guard. And hey, if you could find an offensive lineman that could be your staple for the next 12 years, that's a win in my book. That's good enough for me. We haven't had an amazing right guard in a minute. So, hey, let's see what we can get. Next round, second round, pick 43, Trayvon Merrig. So this guy was projected to go in the first. Unfortunately, that's how the draft works. Sometimes it doesn't work out in your favor. So he fell to the second. We traded up to get him. And wouldn't you believe it? He can actually play safety in the NFL. Who knew? Who knew? Right? He was only guarded as the best safety in the whole draft class, and he fell in the second. Who knew? But, hey, 55 tackles, 1 interception, 6 pass deflection, and an only allowed completion ratage of 15%. Who knew he could play safety? Wow. He dropped the ball on that. Anyway, had back-to-back. Yeah, we had back-to-back picks in the third round, pick 79 and pick 80. With the first one, we took a Malcolm Kuntz, the linebacker defensive end out of Buffalo. 3 tackles, 2 sacks. I don't know what was weird about him. He only played in 5 games. He was healthy scratches for majority of the season. because I guess we were so much in debt. But once the Carl Nassif started getting injured, once others started getting hurt, he took the reins, and in the 5 games he did. I'm going to be honest with you. If Cleve Farrell's not careful, we might be looking at our new starting defensive end on the other side of Max Crosby. And that is a crying shame for Cleve Farrell, who was a 4th overall pick just a few seasons ago.
I didn't want to say that.
Right.
I didn't want to say that, but I was going to.
I could say it. I could say it. I have no shame in saying it. I could say it. Now we wonder why Mike Mayock is no longer the general manager.
All the players at number 4 you could have got: Dexter Lawrence,
Devin White,
Ed
Oliver. Hey, sometimes you just gotta trust your gut. Now, pick 80, they took Divine Diablo, and same thing because of the linebacker group that we did have. He didn't really get started until halfway through the season, and he actually overtook Corey Littleton. When Corey Littleton went down, they put him in the starting lineup, and he never looked back. Even when Corey Littleton came back from injury, they're like, yeah, dude, you're just going to have to
watch.
You're just going to have to watch. And, 45 tackles, 1 fumble recovery, 1 pass deflection. I mean, for the little time of action he saw, it was okay. And again, that might be another starter that the Raiders might have found for next year's team. Now, we'll see how the team is constructed, and we'll see what Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler have to say about it. But, I mean, there has to be some sort of promise and hope that they're not going to just disabandon the kid. So we'll see. Now, 4th round, they got Tyree Gillespie, the safety out of Missouri. He didn't mostly special teams. And he, that's what he is, just a special teams guy. And he only got 8 tackles throughout the whole year. But he's a very key part to the special teams. And, there was a reason why A.J. Cole was a good punter, because not a lot of returns. And he was always around the ball. When the punt returner always had a fair catch, he was always right there. So, hey, sometimes those are the things that don't show up on the stats. But, hey, happy to have them. 5th round, 167, they took Nate Hobbs, the corner out of Illinois, who turned out to be, who knew, a good slot corner. 74 tackles, 1 sack, 1 interception, 3 pass deflections, and he's our slot corner now. He showed enough to be our slot. So, hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And last but not least, at 200 pick number 230, they took Jimmy Morrissey, the center out of Pittsburgh. Did not make the team, did not make the final cuts. Was on our practice squad for a little bit, but then Houston got dealt with some injuries, and they said, we need a center. Well, let's go with Jimmy Morrissey. And now he's in Houston, and I wish him all the best. That's the best way to put it. Sometimes it just doesn't work out because they signed Andre James to that long contract extension, well, the 3-year, and they got Nick Martin. So there's not a lot of snaps for you at center, my man. And it happens. He's now in Houston, and he actually started and played really well. So who knows? Maybe he's the starting center for Houston for the years to come for a little bit. So kudos to him. That was the draft, and, the Raiders again started 3-0, started off hot. Not that I was surprised because, hey, that's what they've been doing the last 3 years. Our worry was, how are they going to finish this year? Well, Brandon, I want you to take over this for a minute. And before I get into the second part of the show for the Raiders, in one word, man, describe the Raiders season. I know it's hard. I know it's going to be hard. But go ahead.
For the first time, I got actually one word. Surprise. It was a surprise. Like, to have all of the trials and tribulations you guys had as a team from the beginning to damn near the end. Like, it was a surprise. I mean, good, bad, ups, downs, the worst surprises at times, and some of the best goddamn surprises at times. But it was a damn sure surprise. I think from literally starting off 3-0, what you guys always start off 3-0. I think you guys damn near start off 3-0 every damn season if I could count. Like every year, I could count the
Start off
Raiders.
hot.
It's gonna be the first half of the season, like the first 3 games. I know the Raiders gonna whoop the hell out of everybody. It's like I could pretty much know the Raiders are gonna be 3-0 by the time I look up. And like you said, it's about the finishing. What are you gonna do? And listen, John Gruden getting fired middle of the season, kind of early part season.
It was the earlier parts. Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
week 5.
like early
Well,
mid part.
I'll get into that. Yeah, I'll cover that.
But him getting fired, I mean, you guys had injuries left and right with Darren Waller being hurt, and of course, the Henry Ruggs tragedy, and of course, I think you guys' cornerback who you drafted last year, a year before that, his meltdown on camera and everything that he was doing. So yeah, I mean, listen, the Raiders to make it to the damn playoffs like you guys did, and it was pretty much open and shut case. I mean, you guys beat Pittsburgh, so you guys pretty much all you needed to do was beat the Chargers or tie the Chargers, and you guys was in the playoffs. So it's kind of like to go from where you started to where you guys eventually ended, damn near beating the team that is the runner up in the Super Bowl. Like that's a lot. Like, to get to where you guys at, I think you guys also have officially established that Hunter Winthrow is probably the best goddamn slot receiver in the goddamn world.
He's something. I should know. Yeah, I'll tell you that. He is something.
I should know because I had him on my fantasy team, and every damn week he got me points. So whatever y'all doing, he did.
I'm sure he did.
So whatever y'all doing with him, keep it up.
Now, the whole thing with starting off 3-0 and then we lose a terrible Monday night. Well, I wouldn't even say terrible Monday nighter. The Chargers just had our number that day. It was the week after. It was the week after when it was Chicago was coming to town. The whole hype around it was, Khalil Mack's coming back. And it's like, all right, like that was already kind of dead in the water anyway. It was kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. I mean, that was kind of like secondary. Well, it turned secondary after the whole like Wednesday when there was reports of I don't even know the right word for it. I guess unnecessary emails that John Gruden said.
Unsolidified?
There you go. Unsolidified. Explicit emails that, it just started off as he was, not agreeing with Demarius Smith. I think that's how you say it, the NFLPA lawyer and everything. And he said some really nasty things that I'm not gonna say here because I don't condone that. But he said some things, and at first, that enough was a distraction that the Raiders looked terrible against the Bears week 5. Well, that was that. 3 hours after the game, like literally 3 hours after the game, like halftime, there was another report that came out that he said some pretty messed up things about gay football players, and the whole rumor of being spread around of topless Washington cheerleaders was being spread around, and that was enough for Gruden to resign. He went into the office the next day. He told Mark Davis, I have to he resigned. They mutually agreed to part ways, and that was it. So here come the Raiders now. Oh, crap. Well, here we go. So we have to make a decision. So literally that next morning, they made Rich Bisaccia the interim head coach, and that was sort of a blessing in disguise. And if this man can turn around the fortunes of Green Bay special teams unit, which has been terrible the last couple of years, this man is probably going to be, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. This man is probably going to be a head coach here in about 2 years.
Fuck being a head coach. He's a goddamn Hall of Famer. Put him in a goddamn Hall of Fame right now. It is
for everything. And understand this. So this was my man's deal. All right, this was Rich Bisaccia's deal. So you came in, understanding the situation of who you had to replace. Okay, Mark Davis's best friend. All right, you got to replace them. Now, your first game. It's a big one. It's a divisional matchup against the Denver Broncos. Okay? You guys both started off 3-0. You guys are now 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to change the course of how your season's going to go. And what did he do? Went into Denver, and they killed him. They killed Denver. Oh, that's great. Okay. No, and at this point, okay, he's got the team on track. Okay. Here we go. Let's move on to next week. Literally 24 hours later, the world in Vegas changed. Henry Ruggs got into a DUI, speeding, and killed somebody. Okay, he killed a woman and a dog for reckless driving, speeding, and being under the influence, and all that good other stuff. All that good other stuff that only Vegas police officers can wish to write up. Okay, like that's what they're looking for. It wasn't the fact that he was driving under the influence. This is the thing that gets me. He was way over. Way, like, dude, you shouldn't be touching anything. Like, I wouldn't even let you operate a freaking phone. That's how drunk you are. And this man just changed his life. And then literally 24 hours later, he was cut from the team. No, let's not wait. Let's not do anything. Once Mark Davis heard DUI, speeding, and death, that was enough. That was enough. He said, nope, you got to go. Sorry. Literally played the Eagles, and then 1 week later said, we're done. We are done. You think that would be the craziest freaking thing, right? No. 2 weeks later, our other first rounder, Damon Arnett, gone on what I'm doing right now. He got on Instagram Live. What I'm doing right now, I'm looking at the Instagram Live camera. Got in there. Pulled out this Back to the Future type of gun bullshit. And started threatening his neighbors. Threatening to kill him. On the internet. And Mark Davis said, nah, we're done with that. So how does Damon Arnett respond to all this? Instead of trying to clear his name and everything? He goes back home. He goes back to Ohio. Gets onto Kansas City's practice squad. Season's over. He knows he's not going to play. Comes back to Vegas. Gets in trouble with the law. Illegal possession of firearms. Cocaine. Beating up a valet driver. I don't know what it is about valet drivers. They beat up a man.
What is it about valet drivers in Vegas? They need to really protect themselves. What the hell is going on?
They really need, like, they really need it. I want to propose a bill that valet drivers get health insurance because this is bullshit. This is bullshit, man. And and what happens now? Now he's awaiting. Now he's in the detention center in Clark County. You think that would be the craziest fucking thing of the fucking season? No. They ended up going 6-2. They dropped their next 5. They beat Dallas on Thanksgiving, and they're out. They're 7. No, they ended up 6-1. They dropped their next 5. They beat Dallas and all that good stuff. So now they're 6-7. Okay. Or they lose to Washington. They end up 6-7. Some weird stuff like that. Now, here's the crazy thing about this Raiders season. In order to even consider the playoffs, they have to win the next 4 games. The first matchup, the Cleveland Browns. We didn't even think we were going to have a game because Cleveland had an outbreak of the whole COVID outbreak. So what they do, they moved the game to Tuesday. They beat the Browns on a Daniel Carlson field goal. They have to play the Colts 4 days later. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, 5 days later. They got to play them 5 days later.
In Indianapolis.
At Indiana. They got to go back on the road. This is where Mike, what's going on, my man? Hey, you're never late. You're just on time, man. You're fashionably late. Now they got to go on the road to Indianapolis. And now Indy's at a point of the season where it's like, oh, we got to beat the Raiders to keep our season alive. They beat the Colts.
I don't want to say how they beat them, but you go ahead and continue.
They beat them on a Daniel Carlson field goal because Hunter Renfrow made an amazing fucking catch on a 4th down, no less. On a 4th down, Hunter Renfrow made a stupid.
That was a touchdown. That was a goddamn touchdown. His foot was not on the ground.
You saw the pinky touch the cleat.
That did not. That was a touchdown. That was a touchdown.
Look,
they robbed me of my damn points. I did not appreciate that. That was a goddamn touchdown.
But are we going to discount the fact that he made a stupid catch?
He made an incredible damn catch. That was a touchdown. He did not touch the ground.
He made a touchdown. I get it. But remember, I get it. The pinky might have touched the cleat. I don't know. But in the end, it worked out in their favor because then they ran out the clock. Here comes Daniel Carlson. There's your 3 points. Raiders win. Okay.
I want those points. That was a damn touchdown.
Okay, next week. Here we go. They got to beat the Broncos. They do that.
Because they played Drew Lock.
Okay, they played Drew Lock, and it was like, okay, oh my God, the Raiders are 9-7. This is the point of the season where everybody is on the freaking edge. Week 18, everybody was on a fritz, man.
What happened?
They moved the game. They moved the Charger-Raider game to primetime because the hopes of it was this was going to be the game of the week. And, oh my God.
Was it?
Let me tell you what happened between that game. Let me tell you what happened before the game. So the Steelers beat the Ravens, knocked the Ravens out of the playoffs, any contention. Now they're in a position to get into the playoffs, but they need either the Chargers or the Raiders to win. The Colts blew it up again. They lose to the Jaguars at Jacksonville again. Okay. I don't even know how that's possible, but they lost again. Okay. Carson Wentz stunk it up that game. Now here comes the game of the night. Okay. This is where everybody is. Listen, whether you're a Raider fan, a Charger fan, or just a football fan, except for Mike Tomlin, apparently. Apparently he was asleep during this game. Everybody was watching this game because they're like, oh my God, something's going to happen. And it's going to happen, and it's going to screw somebody over.
I wanted to see history because I wanted to see if the teams were just going to go to the middle of the field and be like, man, fuck this shit. We both in the playoffs. I don't care. Like, I just wanted to see.
There was a part of me that said, okay, the Chargers and the Raiders are going to be in the middle field and say, we both agree to a tie.
Like, I wanted to see if it was actually going to be happening, and it didn't. It was a great fucking game.
Okay, so it happens. Here we go. Justin Herbert was incredible that night. The defense for the Chargers were not.
The head coach forgot he was a rookie and didn't freaking understand what the hell the play.
So here's the situation. 37 seconds left. I wanted to see like 50 kneel downs. I think everybody did. I think everybody wanted to see a whole crap of kneel downs. Now, I don't think they would have allowed it. I think it would have been like kind of crappy on both ends, but it would have been funny. I would have loved to see it, but
that makes sense.
But so here we go. They did their thing. There's like 37 seconds left. Okay, so the clock was winding down, and people forget the Raiders were playing to tie. When Brandon Staley called that timeout, the Raiders looked over at Brandon Staley. You're trying to win still? Okay, cool. And not only that, it was 3rd and 5. They had their pass defense out there. Brandon Staley called a timeout to put his run defense out there. Josh Jacobs still picked up the first down. Derek Carr looked at the
picked up the first down, and then he picked up the first down and like 5, 6, 7, 8 yards more.
Yes.
That's how bad it was.
Yes. So now Derek Carr's looking over at the court and looking at the sideline. He looks at the ref and he goes, 2 seconds. And then you look over at the other camera and Poor Justin Herbert's like, I never wanted to die so bad in my life. Oh, and then, of course, the guy who didn't miss a field goal all year at home, what does he do? He kicks a field goal at home and he makes it in, and the Raiders are in the playoffs. And the Chargers have to go home because Brandon Staley was trying to win. Just let the clock die. Let it die.
What I've been trying to figure out from the moment that game happened to now is you put your run defense in and they still gave up a 3rd and 5 in. How the hell is that possible? That was a waste of a timeout and a waste of a situation. What the fuck were you doing? That was so bad.
The Raiders have won it. The Steelers are in the playoffs, and everybody's saying, what the hell? So then, all right. So now, because of that win, the Raiders are in the playoffs. From, okay, they're 3-0. They beat 3 teams that had 10-plus wins last year. Amazing. To, oh, my God, this is a tragedy. To, oh, my God, they suck again. To, oh, my God, they're in the playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, those crazy sons of bitches made that playoff. Yes. Those crazy sons of bitches.
It's back.
All right. Those crazy sons of bitches at Allegiant Stadium made the freaking playoffs. Though no star wide receiver, no defense, no anything. Those crazy sons of bitches made the playoffs. And then they played Cincinnati, and then Derek Carr gets intercepted at the 9-yard line, and it's okay. And then that's game.
Which could have been interesting.
It was a good game. I said it all week that week. I am happy to be here. I am happy that I am here. Okay, because we were not supposed to be there. We were not. So now, it's 2022. They brought in Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler from New England. And boy, but before we get there, Brandon, come on, man. Give it to me straight, man. Was this a success for the Raiders?
Hell yeah. Not just the season, but the offseason, which you're about to get into. So, yeah. It led to what the offseason became. So, yes, it was a hell of a success.
Now, to say that the new guys coming in were ready to... Whatever you thought the Raiders were going to do, it went totally the opposite. Let's talk about the people that did leave first. Zay Jones is going to Jacksonville. He's getting $8 million a year now. Hey, listen, it's Jacksonville. They needed to spend the money, or else they were going to get in trouble. Marcus Mariota is now going to be the stopgap quarterback to Atlanta. He signed a 2-year deal. Casey Hayward is also heading to Atlanta. This is probably his last year. I follow him, and he's pretty much saying, I've always wanted to finish my career at home. So, hey, kudos to him, man. Quentin Jefferson is heading to Seattle. Alec Ingold heading to Miami. Brandon Faison, who replaced our starting corner, who was the starter, is now heading to Indianapolis to reunite with Gus Bradley. Nicholas Morrow's heading to Chicago. Solomon Thomas, who actually had a career year with us, is now heading to the Jets. He actually looked like his first-round status. And that's amazing. And I wish him the best in New York. Markel Lee's going back to Buffalo. Keyshawn Nixon is heading to Green Bay. Let's talk about the players that did come in. I want to talk about the players that did come in. So we're going to start with Andrew Billing.
You really want to talk about the players that came in? Are you sure about that? That's what you want to do?
Let's talk about the first guy that came into the building. Andrew Billings, the defensive tackle from Cleveland. Micah Kaiser, the linebacker from Denver. Understand, these are the names I'm going to name you. This is the list that that Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels said we need to bring these guys in. Andrew Billings, Micah Kaiser, Kyle Pecco, Kyler Fackrell, Jacob Hollister, Amir Abdullah, Demarcus Robinson, Vernon Butler, Jayon Brown, Duron Harmon, Darius Phillips, Jacob Johnson, Alex Bars, Mac Hollins, Anthony Everett, Brandon Bolden, Bile Nichols, Chandler Jones. That's the list of free agencies that they signed. Here's the list that they re-signed. Roderick Teamer, Jermaine Elinor, Jonathan Hankins, and Brandon Parker. You think for any offseason that would be it? No! 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 They did more. We needed another corner, so we called Indianapolis and said, hey, you need a pass rusher? I need a corner. I got Chandler Jones. I kind of could give you Yannick. Could you give me Rock Ya-Sin for a trade up? Indianapolis said, absolutely. So now we have Trayvon Mullen and Rock Ya-Sin as our two starting corners. I can dig it. I can dig it. But this is why I'm so glad Mike is here with us today. I'm so glad. This is why I'm so glad.
Why are you torturing this man? What did he do to you?
Let me tell you why the Packers are going to select in our slot. Because
I'm sorry, Mike, man. I'm sorry, Mike, man. Good. I'm sorry, Mike.
After everything that happened, the whole Aaron Rodgers fiasco is finally over. It's fun. Don't cry on me yet, Mike. It gets worse. After the whole Aaron fiasco is over, Aaron Rodgers fiasco is over. Green Bay turned their attentions to Mr. Davante Adams. They looked at Davante and said, Davante, I know you don't want to play on the franchise tag. I get it. So here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to make you the first ever $31 million wide receiver ever. How does that sound? No. Huh? What did he say, Brandon? What did Davante say?
Trade me.
And where was his first destination? Where did he want to come?
The place he bought a house a year ago.
He wanted to reunite with his old college roommate. And what did we have to give up? A first and a second this year.
What seems like a goddamn steal. Like it's like you can have this now. Good God. Did you see what Miami gave up?
And this is the crazy thing about it. Understand what Miami gave up. Understand what Denver gave up. The fact is...
Hell, Cleveland.
Look what Cleveland gave up. The fact is that...
It's a team that's going to trade for Deebo Samuel eventually. They're going to have to give up something too. So, yeah.
The fact that all we had to give up was our first and second... Usually when you get a player like this, you have to add something later. Or another player. The fact that they said, can you just give us like a first and a second? And then we can totally try to hide this from the media. This was, and the fact is that he took less money to just play with his old college roommate. It tells me everything I need to know of what the fuck is going on in Green Bay.
Whatever do you mean?
The fact is, now the Packers, for all these years I've been saying, they need a draft wide receiver. They need somebody opposite of Davante. No, now they just need somebody for Aaron to actually throw the freaking football. So, this is where I come in. This is where I come in. Green Bay fans, you want me as your general manager. Because the general manager that you have right now
sucks.
He just loves to burn bridges and then bend over. You want me as a general manager because I would have built you guys a real Super Bowl contender. Not that Yahoo. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Raiders season. And it's just beginning. It's just beginning. Now we get to see how it all works out for them. So here we go, Brandon. With, Green Bay's on the clock. Green Bay's on the clock. Roger Goodell. Do not screw Green Bay fans today, Brandon. Don't do it. So here comes Roger Goodell. Here comes this little podium. He's in his little suit with his little card. All right, Brandon. What name is... Oh my God, what name is Roger Goodell going to read off that freaking card? I'm so fucking terrified right now.
Okay. And I can't screw Green Bay up more than Aaron Rodgers has. So, I might mess up his last name. But anyway, Green Bay Packers will select with the 22nd selection in the NFL draft. George, I don't know how to say his last name, from Purdue. The edge, you know what I'm talking about, the edge rusher from Purdue, George.
Karfalatis.
Yeah, Perfalatis. I don't know how to say his last name. I think they're going to draft him. I think if he's there, you got to get him because you just lost Zadarius Smith. And I don't know how much Preston Smith got left. You got to draft somebody. And I think he's the best damn player that could fit that team. He's an edge rusher, but he can run block, and he can actually get to the quarterback. So in that Green Bay system too, I think defensively it's not really been that bad. It's kind of been the offense, and they kind of stall out a lot. So I got Josh Parfalitis going to the Green Bay Packers with the 22nd pick.
That's such a Green Bay thing to do, too.
Yeah, I know.
It's gonna be lit when they choose 29 again, and they're not gonna go receiver either.
I went with something I went with something that I knew that receiver they can always kind of get, and that's kind of
no. They can't wait. They can't wait. They can. It's not like Devontae Adams is gonna walk through that door anymore.
But also
there's
like
nobody. No.
We shall see.
No.
I personally think they're gonna go defense first and then maybe get a receiver later, but I don't freaking see it right out the gate.
Oh my God. The good thing is they got 2 first rounders, so
that's what I'm saying.
But I'm gonna listen. No, I'm gonna go. Look, I like the kid too. I had him earlier, so obviously I can't choose him again. No. Look, you can. It's Green Bay's nature to go after defense tackle or cornerback. Oh yeah. No, I'm not gonna do this to Green Bay. Listen.
Do it.
No. I'm not gonna do it. Listen. I understand they do need another defensive end. I get it. We don't know how long Preston Smith still has. Kenny Clark, he's one of the better ones, and he can always shape up that young rookie. It's just everything else around, you just don't know until we get there. However, have you seen the depth chart for the wide receiver room?
It's terrible.
Do you want me to read it to you? Here. I got this. So, here we go. Let's see here.
Why are you torturing Green Bay? Come on.
The number 1 wide receiver right now is Alan Lazard. Cool. Number 2, it's Randall Cobb.
Oh my God.
And number 3 is Amari Rogers. If you can name me what school Amari Rogers went to, I will give you like $20 through Cash App.
It's got to be like a Central Michigan.
Clemson. He went to Clemson.
Holy shit! He clearly was buried on that depth chart. What the fuck?
He went to Clemson.
Holy shit!
Listen, no, I can't do this to Green Bay. They need to do it. They need to give Aaron Rodgers a number 1. I'm not going to say he's going to be Devontae Adams right away, but God, you got to give him something because Robert Tunyon's only there for one more year. Aaron Jones cannot be your everything back. He can't. So that's why with the 22nd pick of the NFL draft, I'm going to go Christian Watson, the wide receiver out of North Dakota State. Listen, he's a name that all the time he was graded late first, early second. This dude, thanks to an amazing Senior Bowl and thanks to an amazing combine, the dude is going to look great. And he doesn't even have to switch colors. He could bring his own North Dakota State University jersey.
I thought he's kind of like a tight end receiver type, isn't he?
No, this dude is all wide receiver, man. Listen, 6'4", 208. Let me tell you about this guy's combine. You ready?
Nope.
40-yard dash, 4.3.
Damn.
Vertical jump, 39. Broad jump, 13 feet, 6 inches. I know he's not the most popular wide receiver, but I can't give you Jameson Williams because you need somebody right now. And I can't give you anybody else because, well, then you're really kind of overvalue him. Christian Watson here, he fits. He fits with Green Bay. He's going to fit with exactly what he does. And listen, he's much more than just a wide receiver. He's a gadget dude. That's what Green Bay needs. They need a true number one, and he's going to develop into that number one. And listen, his senior year, let me tell you what he did. Understand this. 43 receptions, 800 yards, 7 touchdowns. Understand every catch he did was 20-plus yards. Why? Because he knows how to run routes, and he knows how to separate from cornerbacks. Not only that, he added 114 rushing yards with 1 touchdown. You don't think you want that in your offense? You don't think you want that?
You better get it because they have nobody. Nobody.
So I understand there could be others. George Pickens could be nice. Maybe David Bell from Purdue, Jalen Tolbert from South Alabama, Jameson Williams from Alabama. But the problem is, do you really want another one? Like, you need height in that wide receiver room. You can't get taller than 6'4". And when I see this kid play, you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of a faster Vincent Jackson.
Put a lot on it, man. That's something.
Yeah, I know D2 wide receivers don't have a history of not panning out. I get it. But I think this kid's the real deal. Listen, this kid, he's the real deal. Sure, you can always go Jameson Williams here, but do you really want to trust? Do you trust the ACL? Or do you want the kid who has always improved every single year since he played? Do you want the kid that had a better year without Trey Lance? For me, and here's the thing about it, Aaron Rodgers would sign this off immediately because he would just tell him, go deep, get open, and I'll throw it to you right into your freaking hands. And his catch radius is incredible. So to me, I get it. It's not the sexiest pick of wide receivers. But if you want to go George Pickens here, you want to go Williams because they're SEC guys. And that could be on the flip side too. I know a lot of SEC wide receivers that never panned out either. And they were supposed to be the next big thing.
Yeah.
So I just have a feeling that Christian Watson would immediately make – he's not going to beat Devontae right away. But wouldn't you want to go for something for a faster Vincent Jackson? I would.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
I would. But you guys let us know in the comments. Who would you guys rather have? Packer fans, talk to us. George Karflatis or Christian Watson? Let us know. Mike, I know where you're going to go. It's going to be other. You tell us where you're thinking here. What do you guys think? What are you thinking here, Mike? What do we got for the Green Bay Packers? And while you're thinking about it, we're going to make our new transition to the next team on the clock. It is the Arizona Cardinals. That's right. They finished 11-6, and they were the 11th best offense and the 11th best defense. Go figure, right? Here is where it gets tricky for Arizona. They started the season 8-1.
Yep.
8-1. And they finished 11-6. Ooh, Traylon Burks for Green Bay. That would be good. That would be good. He's not bad. He's not bad. I mean, another tall dude with a lot of game speed and good catch radius too. It's just I kind of thinking he'd go somewhere else, but I'm not going to reveal that yet. Arizona, they just the thing about Arizona is they have a really good football team. I mean, understand this. They were 8-1, and they weren't just the best team in the NFC. They were the best team in the NFL at one point. It's just injuries just kept piling and piling and piling that it just got too much for them. And you could tell in the Rams game that they were just too down. They were too hurt to even compete with the Rams at that point. But I did like their draft class. I really did. Your first round pick 16, you took Zaven Collins, the linebacker out of Tulsa. He didn't get a lot of playing time because Jordan Hicks was there, but after a while, Jordan Hicks just started getting less and less play. And once Savon took over, there was no looking back. 25 tackles, 3 pass deflections. The kid's amazing. And the fact that he's going to be starting alongside Isaiah Simmons, that is going to be an amazing linebacker duo for the years to come. Second round, pick 49, they took Rondale Moore, the wide receiver out of Purdue, which, by the way, we have to really start checking into the water and Gatorades in Purdue because they have another one coming out this year too. His name is David Bell, and he's going high pretty too. So we have to start looking what they're doing over there in Purdue because that Gatorade must be some shit. But obviously he wasn't going to get a lot of playing time. I think this was more of a luxury pick than it was anything else. Because remember, they had Christian Kirk.
I was just about to say.
They had AJ Green. They signed AJ Green for a 1-year deal. They had DeAndre, and they already had Andy Isabella waiting in the wings as well.
Yeah.
So I think this was more of a luxury pick, but what a luxury it is. 54 receptions, 435 yards, and 1 touchdown. And he actually contributed on special teams. So now that AJ Green's gone, Christian Kirk is gone. I still
supposed to laugh at that.
Still laughing at that. Anyway, now here's his chance to be the number 2 wide receiver behind DeAndre Hopkins, and Andy Isabella is going to get more time in the slot, and he proved that he deserves more time in the slot. So I think this is more of a luxury pick than it was anything else. They didn't pick again until the 4th round, pick 136. They took Marco Wilson, the corner out of Florida, and he is the new starting quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. 48 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 4 pass deflections. Here's your starter. No, that's as good. How do you feel about losing Patrick Peterson? You draft a kid like Marco Wilson from Florida, who had all the upside. The only problem with him was off the field thing. The thing with Marco Wilson last year was he's a good player. The problem was we didn't know all the other stuff, the off the field stuff that he got caught up in and everything. And it wasn't anything like drugs or anything. It was just, he beat up a student, I believe it was. And I think he got into a fight with one of his own teammates. So it was just a lot of anger issues, I believe, if I remember correctly. If not, correct me. But other than that, I think the kid's got a good head in it. I think he went to a good team with a lot of good veterans that shaped him up. And now he's the starting corner. And I like it. They picked again twice in the 6th round, 210 and 223. Victor Dumuguchi, defensive end out of Duke. Again, you're not going to be anything as long as J.J. Watt's there. So you're going to have to play second fiddle, unfortunately. 3 tackles. That was it. Special teams guy, blocker. That's about it. 223, they took Tay Gowan, another corner out of UCF. Didn't even make the team. He ended up getting picked up by the Eagles and only having 2 tackles there. They had twice in the 7th round, 243, 247. The first one was James Wiggin, the safety out of Cincinnati. Only 1 tackle. It is what it is. When you got all the safety there in the world, that's really good. Get your dues, man. And then 247, Michael Minette didn't even make the squad either. Center out of Penn State didn't even make the squad. He is now the backup center in Green Bay. So, it is what it is. You know what's really funny about this Arizona team? But before I answer, Brandon, what's your one word about the Arizona Cardinals, man? What can you tell me about how do you feel about the Arizona Cardinals?
Burned out.
Yeah.
I think every season they start off hot and then they get burned out. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because they put I don't know. It could be practice. Could be just the fact that they're too athletic, not enough toughness. I don't know, but
I mean, injuries were kind of there too, but I mean, it's just,
and that's why I said, because when you're in the NFC West, I'm thinking like when you're in the NFC West, that's a lot of hit the receiver. Like you got San Francisco, you got the Rams, Seattle in some sort, and Arizona's very athletic, but they don't have the physical toughness. Like Kyler Murray is one of the most athletic quarterbacks, but if you get to him a couple of times, he gonna break down.
He's gonna check out. So it was very evident he checked out.
So it's that. So I think it's burned out. And then they get to the point where they have great starts, just like the Raiders. Crazy as we talk about these 2 teams, just like the Raiders, they have great starts and then they just burn out eventually. And it's just like, what the hell is going on with these teams? They have so much talent. But eventually they just burn out, and that's exactly what it is. I think they just burn out at the end of the seasons every damn season.
And it's a shame, really, because 8-1, and we all kind of
we forget last year they started off really damn good. They had a chance to get in the playoffs, and they just didn't get in the playoffs.
And I think the key thing for this year's team, it's all about health. As long as they stay healthy, we know what they can be. They at one point, understand this, they were the best team in the NFL at 8-1. Not just the NFC West, not just the NFC, the whole NFL. And I think if they just stay healthy, they're going to continue that stride.
Yeah.
I think now with the 3rd year of, Cliff Kingsbury, DeAndre all being there and everything, I think everybody's staying intact. I think they did it right. Obviously they're going to have to, they have to improve. They got to get better. But I think this is just one of those things where I think these last 2 drafts have shown that they were already thinking about the future, and it's evident when you look at the departures of free agency. So Christian Kirk, he's heading to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I laugh at this not because of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I laugh at it because
the money
of how this whole thing set like a Final Destination universe and shit. Like, dude, what the hell? Like, this was like the butterfly effect for wide receivers this year and for wide receivers for years to come. Like, understand this. When Hunter Renfrow and A.J. Brown and all these guys get their new contracts, they're going to be like, thank you, Christian Kirk.
Yeah. Somebody fucked up the Matrix.
Like, thank you. They also did lose, again, Chandler Jones, as we talked about in the last segment. He's now heading to Las Vegas. But they found a replacement, Zaven Collins. It happens. It happens all the time. Chase Edmonds is now heading to Miami to actually compete for that starting running back job. Like he has a chance to be the starter in Miami. Let's not get around here. Like, let's not joke around, Again, Jordan Hicks, he got outplayed himself, and Zaven Collins took over, and okay, they saw that it was worth the first round investment. So kudos to Arizona. And then Jordan Phillips is now heading to another team. Now they did bring in Nick Virgil, the linebacker from Minnesota, so it's kind of funny that they switched linebackers. Steven Anderson from the Chargers is coming in to be the backup to Zach Ertz. And Will Hernandez is going to be an Arizona Cardinal now. He's going from New York to Arizona, which is his hometown. So it's all good. And then they did resign Ezekiel Turner, depth linebacker, Andy Lee, the 39-year-old punter, and Aaron Brewer, the long snapper, is coming back as well. So for Arizona, I think it's just a very interesting thing. I think they're ready to take the next step. And I think they got a young team now that's going to be around. It's not like, it's not going to be like, the Seattle Seahawks where they just got old really, really fast. It's not, it's not like San Francisco where you're inconsistent all the time. They got a plan in place. And then the Rams are the freaking Rams. As long as they keep doing what they're doing, then, the Rams are always going to be the Rams. But understand this. The Rams can win the division. Like the other three teams I mentioned, they have to pray they have to pray that they get hurt. They have to catch an injury bug because that's the only way they're going to win the division. And I'm going to be honest with you. If they stay healthy next year, no doubt in my mind, I think the Arizona Cardinals are going to be the favorites to win the NFC West. So with all that being said, Brandon, do you have any last words for Arizona? Is there anything you're looking forward to? Anything that you would like to see improve for Arizona?
I hope that Arizona is actually healthy for the rest of the whole damn season. Kyler Murray don't go down. DeAndre Hopkins don't go down, clearly. I would love to see what this team could be when they're all 100% healthy.
And we saw it, 8-1. That's
and especially at the end of the year, because that's kind of where they get burned out at the end of the year. They get injured real fast.
And I hope Cliff Kingsbury understands we got to change something. And I hope he does. I hope he does too.
I hope he does too. But I would love to see Kyler Murray with a full-length season, because this man was supposed to be the MVP, and then he got injured, and that was the end of that. So we shall see.
Like, understand, he was getting MVP considerations at 8-1. Yeah. That's crazy. That is freaking nuts. And do I think he can be MVP? I believe so. If he leads an Arizona Cardinals team to the promised land, there's no doubt in my mind. I don't see why he can't win MVP. So we'll see. But all right. So after Mike takes his hands off his eyes and Roger Goodell gives the card officially to the NFL officials that the Packers probably did not draft a wide receiver in the first round again. Here comes Roger Goodell again with the 23rd pick. He's got the card in his hand. He's back at the podium. All right, Brendan, what name is Roger Goodell going to read for pick number 23?
All right. So pick number 23 overall in the 2022 draft, the Arizona Cardinals will go Devontae Wyatt, defensive tackle, Georgia.
Love it.
I think that J.J. Watt is done. Chandler Jones is in Vegas. Where the hell is the defense? You need a run stopper, because that's what the problem was last year. It got to the point where they couldn't stop the run in certain games, and that's why teams started to kill them. It was just getting to the point where teams would just run on you. Hell, when the Green Bay Packers played them with no Devontae Adams, no Marquez Scantlin, like they barely had receivers, and they still won the game. You know why? Because Aaron Jones just ran crazy. It was just like, what do you do? I think Devontae Wyatt fits his defense. I think if that's the way, especially when you're in the NFC West with Cam Akers, Sonny Michel, you got Kyle Shanahan with those running backs in San Francisco. Seattle got something in
Chris Carson,
Rashad
Penny.
Penny. Like, and we don't know what quarterback they might drive a quarterback and find something, and they might get a running quarterback to fill what Russell Wilson could do. So we don't know what the hell Pete Carroll could come up with in it for that offense. So I think you get Devontae Wyatt. He starts that defense. You're going young anyway, defensively, any damn way. You might as well get now a true run stopper for the future. And I think the number one pick, if that is that case for the Arizona Cardinals, should be Devontae Wyatt, because he fills so many more of your needs than anything else. Because I couldn't find a goddamn thing other than they need a defensive tackle. They do not have one. They have all the athleticism. They need a physical guy that is literally what he is, a defensive tackle, and that's what the hell he is. He ain't no other.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, if Devontae Wyatt's there at 23, Arizona's just got lucky again to get Isaiah Simmons, Zayvon Collins, and Devontae Wyatt. Those are three cornerstone defensive players that you take 3 years in a row, and that's how you build your defense. Take notes, ladies and gentlemen. However, I went defense too. And unfortunately, since Devontae Wyatt is gone, I cannot pick him. Again. And I went because I think they're going to address the defensive line issue, but I think they're going to address it in the second round.
Ooh.
I think they're going to address it in the second round, and that could be anybody. That could be with a, dare I say, David Ojabo, now that he has that ACL injury. DeMarvin Neal, Ferratis from Alabama. You know, I mean, there's a lot of good names. I just think the talent drop off, will still be there in the second round. I think the talent drop off at this position kind of falls after the third guy I just took yesterday. So I think with the 23rd pick in this year's draft, I'm going to go Kaiir Elam, cornerback out of Florida. Listen.
Elam is good.
How badass would it be? Michael Wilson, Florida, and now Elam, Florida. Those are your two starting corners. The Florida boys are your starting corners. Pipe dream, I know. But now if you heard the last name, Elam, all right, yes, there is a relation there. He is the nephew to Matt Elam, the former first rounder for Baltimore. Yes, there is a connection there. And listen, 6'2", 200 pounds. You ever heard that expression, looks like a duck, walks like a duck, and must be a duck?
Yeah.
Looks like a corner, has the weight of a corner, plays corner. He must be a corner. Listen, this guy is simply good. He's simply good. I think I want to say he had a downfall year this year, but I think this year was supposed to be something better because his sophomore year was sort of like ooh, damn, this kid's gone to something. And let me explain. So his freshman year in 2019, he only had 10 tackles, 3 interceptions, 4 pass deflections. And, that's pretty good. That's pretty solid for a freshman. He didn't start anything. He just played. Now, 2020 was kind of a weird year for everybody, but he took the advantage the most. 39 tackles, 2 interceptions, 11 pass deflections. Like, ooh, okay. Understand this. Because he kind of had a down year and Sauce Gardner, Derek Stingley, and all these other corners were coming out at the same time, he was kind of meant to fall. Had he done what he did his sophomore year, his junior year, there's a conversation that this dude's probably going top 10. There's probably a conversation he goes top 10. Unfortunately, he only had 29 tackles, 1 interception, 5 pass deflections. Now, that's not bad. That was a pretty good season. The problem is the whole Florida Gator team just... all right, just... like, that's all it was. However, I will say this. He only had to do one thing at the combine. People questioned, because of his little injury and his little scare, is he still fast? 4.39. Ran that.
He's not fast. He's Sonic the Hedgehog. That's a goddamn.
he ran that
goddamn hedgehog,
and he goes. And from there, one scout even said he didn't have the year that we all thought he was, but that can be fixed. I still like him. And here's the thing: it was an NFC scout. What if I'm talking about the Arizona Cardinals? But anyway, listen. He kind of reminds me of another guy who had a lot of questions, and he turned out just fine. Remember Jalen Johnson from Utah? He's too tall. I don't know if he's going to play corner. Maybe he'd be better if we convert him to safety because of his height. I don't know if he's going to be able to keep up. If it looks like a corner and he plays like a corner, it's probably a corner. You can't sit here and tell me that Jalen Johnson's not a badass corner.
He's a pretty damn good corner.
Okay. If he looks like a corner, plays like a corner, it's probably a cornerback. So I don't know why he falls. I mean, I can understand why he falls because of the understand this cornerback draft class. It's actually very underrated, and it has a very good names, a lot of good names. You know, Gardner, Derek Stingley, Andrew Booth. This man himself, Braxton Hill. The other corner from Washington, Stafford or Saffold, or however you say his name. He's good. Tarakon Woodley. A lot of good corners. A lot of good corners in this draft class. I think you put him in Arizona. You figure out your defensive line issues in the second round, which there are going to be some names. You still got JJ. You still got Zayvon Collins. You still got Isaiah Simmons. Now you give Budda Baker a teammate, a cover corner like Budda Baker to finally roam around and be the man we all expect him to be. Boy, I tell you what. You don't want Budda Baker free roaming, my man. That's a bad night for you.
Yeah, that's a loss.
That's a bad night for you, man.
Goddamn loss. That's what that is. That sounds like a loss to me.
Like, oof. Like, damn, Marco, you cover this guy. Elam, you cover this dude. The other safety, Deontay Thompson, could be like, hey, just chill in the back and let me get up to the line of scrimmage real quick. Let me fuck up your world, Matthew Stafford. Let me fuck up your world, Jimmy G. Let me fuck up your world, Drew Lock.
Those two last names, that's not that hard.
Let me screw up your world, my man.
That's not that goddamn hard.
No, I like listen, I like the Devontae Wyatt pick. I think if he is there, I don't know how you could say no. Like, that would be like, damn. Like, damn. Well, there's your defensive tackle. You don't have to worry about that guy. But you guys let us know in the comments. Who would you guys rather go for? Devontae Wyatt wearing the Arizona Cardinal or Elam wearing that Arizona red? We'll see how it goes. However, that is going to do it for tonight's episode. As always, Brandon, it's always awesome to talk to you, my man. Mike, thank you for being such a good sport out there, my man. I will make sure that Devontae Adams is well taken care of here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I will make sure that is okay. And I want to thank everybody that did tune in today's episode and that is going to be tuning in down the road and everything. I do want to make an announcement. We have finally hit a milestone here. Might not be big for others, but we finally have our first draft video that finally hit 50 views. And that was the Los Angeles Chargers one, apparently. That was the Charger one. Yeah, look at that. 50 views. All right. We're getting
there. Chargers fans, I hope you liked my pick. I don't know if you did or didn't. I can't see.
I'll tell you the comments later. I can't say I'm here on here. I'll get kicked.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they loved your pick. They loved your pick. It was the whole banner behind me is what they had a problem with. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's all for fun. Anyway, we want to thank you guys again for your overwhelming support. It's always fun to talk to you guys. This is our favorite time of the year. And tomorrow, we have a good one. We have America's team.
The Patriots?
No, the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh.
You're
Tom Brady?
No, you're thinking of another. You're thinking of Captain America. No, we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys.
No, I think America's team is Tom Brady. I don't think anybody knows what the fuck he plays, but he just like Tom Brady.
No, we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, man.
Oh, the America's team from the 90s. Troy Aikman? Troy Aikman? No? Michael Irvin? No? Emmitt Smith? No? Are we talking about Ezekiel Elliott? Zeke? That guy? Who they should trade this year.
We're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about the whole Dallas Cowboys season. And then we also have the Buffalo Bills on the lineup.
Oh, the number one defense in the NFL. Let's see. Let's see how we're going to approve that. Yeah. Let's see how we're going to approve that. You know, and not
Yeah,
give up
about
13.
that. About that. Listen, I mm, mm, you know, mm,
Yeah, that's kind of how I looked at that last 13 seconds with them on the court against Patrick Mahomes. That's a
mm.
damn shame.
You know what I don't like about it though? You know what I don't like about what they did in that meeting, that owners meeting, is now that they put the rule that now both teams have a chance to. Me personally, I hate it. But what? It must
It's so
suck
stupid.
knowing that that rule was invented because Josh Allen didn't get the football back.
That's so stupid. Well, that's how rules get invented. I mean, the rule of the damn if you kick a field goal, the team gets the ball back in overtime. It's
Back
because of
then, if
us.
you kicked the field goal, that was game.
Yeah, because of us. Because we beat the Vikings in overtime in the damn playoffs. And the next year, they put that rule in.
There's,
So, yeah,
I personally hate the rule myself. Me personally, I hate that rule myself of because I didn't get the ball back.
it's
I'm
not
gonna get into.
college football.
I'll get into it tomorrow because it's a whole other episode.
Yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow.
But I do want to thank everybody that is tuning in. Thank you for the overwhelming support. We're almost done. You believe it?
Crazy.
Yeah, we're almost done. I mean, 24, 25 tomorrow, and after that, I mean, it's sort of kind of it. And then we get to do our super draft show not this Sunday, but the following Sunday. So yeah, I mean, we're almost done. It's almost draft day.
Good God.
And there's a lot of stuff to talk about. But
And some trades to still go down. We don't know who's getting traded yet.
But yeah, the Debo Samuel thing, I guess it is heating up. So luckily it didn't happen while it was on our show. Hopefully we'll see what happens. But until then, thank you everybody for tuning in today. We look forward to talking to you guys tomorrow. And thank you for your support. Please hit that like and subscribe button so we can do some more fun stuff. So please, 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 so that way we can have some fun down the road somewhere. Who knows? Maybe we'll host a draft party or something. But anyway, for my man Brandon, I'm your good old boy JR. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.